Okay. Hello, everyone. This is the session of the biweekly meeting of SIG Instrumentation. Today is the 1st of September, and it looks like we have a couple of agenda items on the list.
Yep.
I guess, Anne, you can go ahead and start.
Yeah, actually, can you scroll up a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. Just wanted to update people. We have new dates, 126 dates. I have updated the doc, so you can see when everything is supposed to happen. So a release cycle starts in like 4 days, and enhancement freeze is going to be in a little over a month. Code freeze in about 2 months. So that said, I have basically 2 caps I'm working on. The first one is health check metrics for Kubernetes components. I need to update this with the comments. Thank you for reviewing it. I also need to go and talk to the relevant SIGs because I need to make sure that they're cool with me adding the random endpoint to their binaries. But I'm sure it should be fine.
Didn't you want it to also add SIG architecture to?
Yeah, probably SIG architecture. I should probably go to SIG architecture and ask them. Maybe that would be the simplest way to go. Instead of going to all the relevant SIGs, because that's a lot of meetings. I will try to find, when is SIG architecture? When do they meet? It's so random. Oh, there it is. Okay, September 22nd.
Oh, I don't know.
Wow, that is far. Do they have a meeting today?
I don't know.
No, they should have a meeting today, but they don't for some reason. Oh, no, it's next week. I will try to go next week. Yeah, I will just crash their meeting next week. And talk to them about it. And then, hold on, can I even go next week? It's in the middle of my freaking other meeting. That sucks.
What time is it? Maybe I can go in your stead if you.
Yeah, that would be great. It's at 11 a.m.
Your time?
Pacific. Yeah, my time.
Okay.
On Thursday.
Yeah, I should be able to make it.
I might be able to make it for the second half, but I think that's why I deleted it because I can't make it. So there's that. There's
Did you froze?
Sorry. And then there's the metrics framework cap. Basically, I need to update the cap. I will do that by next meeting, and I will send it out to you guys for review. Before I will try to do it next week before our triage meeting, and I will share it during the triage meeting. But I have basically prototyped the stability framework stuff. I have the static analysis working on like a far broader range of types so that basically it parses almost everything now.
Okay.
So it is pretty much good to go. I just need to update the cap.
Okay. Yeah, you could also like have done the cap before, like update.
No, I actually like to write the code before I write the cap. It's just my style.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
then I know that I can land everything.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, feel free to ping us.
Sure.
Then I guess I can go to my topic. So my topic was about like the event API migration that like we have been like that is around like for like ages now. So essentially like we created this new events API that is events slash v1, like events.ktest.io slash v1, that supersede the core v1 API. And the issue is that although the KEP has graduated to GA and the API is stable now, it hasn't been spread to all the components in Kubernetes. Like we only have it in the scheduler, I think. And yeah, quite recently, like I've been having a lot of issues where there are operators that kind of spam the API server with like the same event over and over. And the new API is supposed to fix that issue because like similar events will be merged together. So yeah, I was trying to see like what do we need it in order to start the migration and like do it in all the components. And last time we discussed it in a SIG Instrumentation meeting, I recall that Jordan had some concerns apparently. So I discussed with him like beforehand. And we were able to find like a couple of gaps in the implementation that we might want to cover before doing the migration. Like the first one is that between the previous API and the new one, there was a change in kind of the user experience of the events. Like before, since when an event was created, it was was emitted. It was directly created on the API server. Whereas like with the new one, it's only the first event that is created on the API server directly. After that, like if a similar event is emitted again, instead of being created right away, it will be like an event series will be created. So essentially, like it is just the same event as the first one, but with a counter that will increment like whenever a new similar event is created. And after 30 minutes, then it will be updated on the API server. So the difference in terms of experience is that before you could see directly like when an event was repeated often, whereas like now you have to wait 30 minutes to see the repetition. So in order to avoid having this complete change of user experience that might break a lot of things, we thought about maybe adding a backup mechanism that essentially says that, well, if we see the same event twice, then we will like update it right away on the API server. If it's 3 times, then after 1 minute, we will update it on the API server and so on in a backup manner. So that at least we see repetitions and we don't spam the API server that much because, well, when the API was implemented, like having the update like once every 30 minutes might be a bit too much. Like we can definitely reduce that without like impacting the API server much. So that could be a solution. And the other problem that may or may not be a problem is that in the core API, there was a mechanism that was added at some point because there was issues in the kubelet, like the kubelet was emitting too many events and it was making the API server crash. So they added some kind of rate limiter to the implementation. And today I don't know, like I know one type of rate limiter, but I don't know if there is more than just that because they have a queue in the first implementation, and when the queue has more than 1,000 objects inside of it, it will just drop the new incoming ones. And I don't like that's definitely not in the new implementation, but if there is something else, then maybe it's good enough. But if that's not the case, we will need to also add kind of at the backstop mechanism to the new API so that like it is able to handle the repetition of like unique events better. So that, well, if we have like a road controller that creates unique events, like 10,000 unique events in like less than 30 seconds, then we have a way to stop that and drop a lot of them. Yeah, and that's most of what should need to be implemented in order to kind of start the migration and please all the components. There might be other issues that Jordan pointed to me, but I haven't yet had the time to look at them. But yeah, at least like we have a pass, I would say. Now it's more like how do like I'm planning to do a cap to detail like that path forward, and then maybe we can plan out like the actual migration.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me as well.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work, and I don't have that many cycles to work on it. So I will first start by the cap, I guess, or maybe first the implementation of the different mechanisms. But that will be very slow.
The problem with doing the cap first is that you might not be able to get the thing in by code
So I
freeze.
just wanted to give like kind of an update of where I wanted to go with this one, and like if anyone wants to have a look as well, they might be able to help.
Are most of the issues going to be component specific, like the kubelet one?
Awesome.
One kept.
Does anyone has any topic other than what we already discussed?
Are you not able to hear us, Damien?
Yeah, can you not hear us?
I don't think he can hear us.
I guess not. So I guess we
I'm pretty sure. Hey, Damien.
Thank you
Damien. Hello.
Maybe next week in the trade session.
No, Damien.
Bye.
Damien. No, hey, okay. Yes, you can.